today I am down in the sewing room. I've just come back from taking Mum into town to pick up her new glasses. Loads of you have been asking where Mum is. About 2 weeks ago, about 11 o'clock at night, we ended up having to get an ambulance out to come and take Mum to hospital, and she's been in hospital for the last 8 days. She came back here Thursday, Friday last week. Can't remember now. Yeah, she's fine. There's nothing to worry about. Just feeling a bit poorly and a bit sorry for herself. Some complications from previous surgeries and things. So yeah, that's why you haven't really been seeing very much of Mum, and Dad and I have been fending for ourselves because she's not been here. But she is back now and taking it easy. That's why I took her into town this morning to pick up her glasses, because adult supervision. I'm not sure I can be classed as adult, but yeah. So yes, that's why you've not seen Mum in the sewing room as yet, because she has not been well enough to come down here to do any sewing. She has come down to visit though. So while we were in town, our local sewing machine shop is closing down, unfortunately, and they are having a 50% off everything sale. Mum talked me into going in there. I wasn't going to, but Mum persuaded me. And I bought some buttons. I got myself some snaps in both silver and black because I was sewing a snap onto the shirt dress that I finished yesterday, and I have like 4 of those left. And then I picked up, so I'm gonna organise them because they are unorganised at the moment. So I grabbed myself some of the shell buttons that they had on sale. So I got 4 cards of these hexagonal buttons. I got 7 cards of these green shell buttons. I got 3 cards of these slightly larger shell buttons. I think these are 5/8 of an inch. And then I got 4 cards of these tiny little square buttons. I got 3 cards of slightly bigger square buttons, and then I got 4 cards of even bigger square buttons. Now usually I would take them off their cards, put them in a little plastic bag, label the bag with how many was in there, and put them in my button box. But I don't know where all my little plastic baggies have gone. They were the plastic bags that come with like sewing machine needles and things like that. I keep them all for oh, also Emmeline bags hardware comes in these. I keep them all for this purpose so that I can reuse them. I have no idea where they are. I thought I did, and the bag that I thought they were in, they're not in, so I have no idea. So I'm just going to put these in their cards because they are corralled in a nice way. So yeah, I could easily, as I say, these were half price and I spent £27 on all of those. I could very easily have bought more. There were more shell buttons available, and I am a sucker for a shell button, whether it be this kind of shell or coconut shell. So yeah, more buttons. So I levelled out the hem of this dress yesterday, which worked really well. For some reason I turned the hem up of the skirt lining up by an inch, like half an inch, and pressed it and sewed it by machine, and I thought that would be fine and that if it stretched it wouldn't show under the edge of the hemmed skirt, and it does. So I need to trim the skirt lining on this and hem it again, but I can do that by machine, so that's fine. The reason that I ended up lining the skirt of this, although the pattern does call for it, I don't usually do it, but when I was cutting out my viscose, or when I was ironing the blue viscose, I noticed that there were a couple of little flaws on so like tiny little holes in it, and I thought to myself, I must remember to keep an eye out for those when I'm cutting out my pieces. Completely forgot, started cutting out the skirt piece, finished cutting it out, and there's a giant one of those flaws right, I mean, they are tiny flaws, but there's a flaw right in the middle of the front of the skirt. So it's like, do I kind of try and cut the rest of my piece, like my midriff pieces, out of that skirt panel, or shall I just line the whole thing? And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna line the whole thing. So yeah, it's proving more problematic than it was worth, but never mind. So I'm gonna I'm actually just gonna cut the hem off and then do a smaller rolled hem, and then this dress will be finished. Well, not quite, because I still think I'm going to put some small self-covered buttons in this blue up here because I think it'll tie it in nicely with these little tabs. I'm not 100% sure that I love this sleeve, I think it might need to be a bit shorter. I'm not sure that I'm going to shorten it on this one, but I might shorten it for the next one. But you guys haven't seen this on yet, so I shall try it on and get you to tell me what you think. Although the TV that is going to be mounted above the window has turned up, and it's now right where you guys used to live for me to show you what was going on, so I'm gonna have to find a new place for you. So yeah, it's been a busy morning. It's been a very busy morning, but I am down here now, so I'm going to get on with this dress, and then I can put the sewing table away and start some tracing for the next couple of projects that I'm going to work on. Okay, I have finally finished this dress and hemmed it. I actually kind of like it with the second layer of lining underneath. It's exactly the same fabric. It feels kind of more weighty and nice, and as I say, the pattern does call for you to fully line this dress. It's definitely what I'd imagined. I will wear this with a belt, definitely. But do you see what I mean? Like these fluttery sleeves aren't quite as fluttery as I was expecting them to be, but I do think I like them. They are the original sleeves with about, I think probably about 10 inches of kind of flare added to them. I really like the little blue tabs tying in with the dress. I do think a little line of buttons down the front here in this blue will just tie it all together really well. I'm pleased. I'm really pleased with this. I finished the skirt yesterday as well, the linen skirt, but that is up in my room because I hemmed everything whilst watching Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald last night with Chiana sat on my lap underneath my sewing. She was determined to be on the lap, so it worked out quite well. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. This was kind of inspired by the House of Foxy dresses, and I shall put an example up here. Obviously they have a different bodice, but the kind of like midriff and skirt in one colour with a patterned top is the kind of the thing that I took away. As I said, I had a metre of this fabric. I have lined it with plain white viscose, so I could have got the lining out of it, but I think the plain white has worked a bit better because otherwise we'd end up shadows of the print on the inside, if you get what I mean. I got this top, 2 scrunchies and a hair tie out of a metre of fabric, which I think has worked really well. I could probably, in fact I would have been able to get a belt out if I hadn't have done the long hair tie. I could have sent what I had left to Harlequin for a belt, which might have looked quite nice. I think maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't know what belts I have that would go with this. It's just again a personal preference of mine would be to cinch it in more at the waist, but yeah, I really like this. And I mean, I know it's not a plain dress, but it's a plainer dress than I've been making quite a lot, and I could probably wear this with my parrot print Deer and Doe Lupin jacket, because whilst the top would clash, the bit that you'd see wouldn't. So yes, I do really like this dress. It's the Butterick 6380 designed by Gertie. I have made, this is my 4th one now. All the others have long sleeves on them. I am planning on doing a sleeveless one of these as well, because I think that I've seen somebody else do it and I think it looks really nice. But these are the little fluttery sleeves that I've done with it. Again, I'm going to wait till I've seen this footage played back to decide if I want these to be shorter and if I'll then actually do it, because I am lazy and don't like alterations, but I might alter the pattern to make these shorter. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this, Finally got this done so I can put the sewing table away, pull out this table and start tracing out some more patterns for some more experimentation for the rest of this week. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, small change of plans. I just went up to the main house to show Mum and Dad the dress because they always like to have their opinions heard, and they both like it much more on than they did on the hanger, which was interesting. But my thread has arrived, so I have 10 spools of black and 10 spools of white. I have got some shearing elastic, which I'm throwing on the floor. I've got the self-covered buttons that I would like to use for the dress, so I'm going to get those done. Some jeans buttons in copper. I ordered 5 meters, and I did tell you guys this was going to come. It was not part of my fabric buying ban. It's nice and wide. I've got 5 meters of this 10, I think it's right, hang on, let's see. It just says dark blue. I think it's 8 ounce denim, so it's a lot lighter than a sort of denim for regular jeans. Sorry, I'm cutting my own head off there, aren't I? It's a lot lighter than denim for regular jeans, but given that I want to make wide leg trousers out of these that look like jeans, I think that's going to work really well. And I got 5 meters because I'm hoping I can make a denim jacket out of it as well. We shall see. So this needs to be washed, buttons and stuff and thread need to be put away, and then now that I have my black thread, I can work on the McCalls 6563, which I'm really excited to see finished because I really like that t-shirt. It's a woven t-shirt. I really like the couple that I've made. I think I've made 4 and I still have 2, but they're just, like I say, they drag across my bust because I have put a lot of weight on since I traced nearly 3 stone. So I am going to try this larger size and see what that looks like, and if I like that, it's going to be another one that there's going to be a lot of in my future. Be prepared to see a lot of that Gertie shirt and a lot of that, probably a lot of that t-shirt, but by the end of today, hopefully, I will have a woven finished t-shirt to show you. So I'm going to get started on that. Okay, I have finished this little t-shirt and it's much better than the size small, much better. I kind of like it untucked actually. I probably will wear this tucked in most of the time. It has the little cow neck, which I borrowed the cow neck construction from this and put it on the sew over it cow neck tee, because the sew over it one just wanted you to finish the edge of the cow neck and that was visible, whereas this one has like a sort of built-in facing. I've done a super narrow rolled hem on that, and then it gets tucked into the shoulder seams. When I made this before, I couldn't work out how to French seam the shoulder seams, but I have worked that out this time, because the way that the shoulder seams are constructed, you have to sew the kind of edge of the facing in at the same time, and I couldn't work out how to do that and have everything get on in the inside. But if you just leave the facing little pieces out, French seam these and then sew the facing piece down, it's all lovely and French seamed. So I'm really pleased with this. I really like it. This was, as I say, some rayon that I got from Indian Royal Treasures on eBay. I think they've changed their name, Rachel mentioned the other day. I got this like 6 years ago. I ordered 6 meters of it because I was making a jumpsuit for a customer and they sent me the wrong thing. It was meant to be blue and white squares, so they'd sent me this by accident. So I messaged them and let them know, and they said I could either send it back and they'd pay for postage, or I could buy it for half of its price. So I did that. I have made I think it was a Misty cami out of it last year. I've made this t-shirt and I've also made a jumpsuit. I don't have the jumpsuit anymore because it doesn't fit me. Actually no, I've put it away in storage, because I'm ever hopeful I'm going to lose some weight. But yeah, so this is the last of the fabric. I'm really pleased with how this has come out. I really like this. It's a really nice t-shirt. It's cut on the bias, bit of a pain to cut out, but you cut it with all the pieces are like the whole t-shirt front and t-shirt back are cut out on a single layer flat. So yeah, it's really nice. I like it a lot. So pleased with that. I have sewn on the teeny tiny little buttons. These were a pain in the proverbial to make. I mean, they actually weren't too bad. You had to draw the circle, do gathering stitches, and then push the little plastic backs on. So they weren't too bad, but they weren't fun to make. But I do think they look pretty on the dress, although I'm not going to try it on again for you because I've tried it on twice today so far. This little one has come down with me, and she was sitting quite peacefully on Mum's desk, but she's now pacing around the room, so I'm going to go back up to my room because I'm done. And as you can see, I've folded the desk away. I have my little stack of projects to cut out tomorrow. Not cut out, trace. I've been threatening to make this shirt dress for ages, and it has the kind of collar on it that I like, so I'm going to give that a try. I told you guys yesterday about the bodice of this dress. I think it is fairly similar with style lines to this dress. There's definitely more of a V at the front, which I might try and see if I can incorporate, but I'm going to try and do this bodice and this skirt together from this fabric. Then I've got the Butterick 5748 to trace out to then make out of this butterfly fabric, which was from my So Vintage Fabulous box. I think I've decided on the Vogue 9257 for the denim fabric. It's a fly front, it has got pockets. I think this is going to look quite cool. I think I will be happy with this. but I'm willing to give it a go, and D needs like 2.5 meters of fabric, so if it goes horribly wrong then I'll still have 2.5 meters left, and I can always get some more if I need to. On that note, I'm going to say goodnight to you all, because Chi and I are just going to go and sit and watch some TV, because I've done all the hand sewing. I have nothing left to do. So I hope you enjoyed the last couple of days, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!